Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Happy anniversary at TNT! Pangmalawakang coverage. With free data, calls, and texts. At sulit na rewards.
TNT, 25 years, tuloy ang sulit saya sa buong bansa.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Di abot ang data!
GG bro!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi bitin with 10 gig data to power your games plus only Facebook or only TikTok. Load now!
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa...
Playtime. Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome.
El General All-Purpose Epoxy. Palabahan sa kahit anong dikitan.
Hindi umuulan.
Di mo tayo makakabenta.
Yes!
Don't worry. Be unleashed with Smart's Power All 99. Hindi bitin ang benta with only TikTok or Facebook plus 10 gig data and more. Load now.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Itong part na to.
Okay po.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa...
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome.
Hindi aabot ang data. Nice!
Don't worry. Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now.
My future.
Right? What's the plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Happy anniversary at TNT!
pangmalawakang coverage. With free data, calls, and texts. At sulit na rewards.
TNT 25 years, tuloy ang sulit saya sa buong bansa.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Di abot ang data! GG bro! Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi bitin with 10 gig data to power your games plus only Facebook or only TikTok. Load now!
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun ah. Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these smart Wi-Fi promos today.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa...
Playtime. Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome.
Konkreto, kahoy, bakal! Plastic, El General All-Purpose Epoxy. Palabahan sa kahit anong dikitan.
Easy umulan.
Di mo tayo makakabenta. Yes! Don't worry. Be only with Smart's Power All 99. Hindi bitin ang benta with only TikTok or Facebook plus 10 gig data and more. Load now!
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Itong part na to.
Okay po.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa...
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun ah. Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome.
Hindi aabot ang data. Nice!
Don't worry. Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi na bitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
My future.
Right? What's the plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun ah. Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Happy anniversary at TNT! Pangmalawakang coverage. With free data, calls, and texts. At sulit na rewards.
TNT 25 years, tuloy ang sulit saya sa buong bansa.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Di abot ang data! GG bro! Don't worry. Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi bitin with 10 gig data to power your games plus only Facebook or only TikTok. Load now!
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa
Playtime. Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome.
Boxing El General, matibay na dikitan. Konkreto, kahoy, bakal. Boxing El General All-Purpose Epoxy, palabaran sa kahit anong dikitan.
Well, the action continues inside the Playtime Filoil Center. You're still watching where it all begins. This is the PlayTime Cares Filoil EcoOil 18th Preseason Cup presented to us by ABC Tile Adhesives. The second game of our NCAA triple header for this Monday. It's the Mapua Cardinals going up against the San Sebastian Golden Stags. Jay De La Cruz this time together with Camille Clarin with May Reyes at courtside. And CC, this is the period actually where if you're either teams, especially when you're in this place for Mapua, you're just in the middle of the pack. If you're San Sebastian, already two teams are actually, you cannot catch up anymore too. It's just that when you talk about being inconsistent, you're talking about struggling, everything has to stop. Those things, starting with this game.
Yeah, I mean, Mapua is definitely, we know they're a champion team, but in the preseason, you'll definitely get to see their weaknesses and how they need to be more consistent. This game will be a good motivator for them, especially if they're able to bounce back after that last loss to EAC.
Especially with the sequence that, or especially with the thought that only the top 4 teams will advance to the quarterfinals. So Mapua, that 2-2 win-loss record, not a pretty nice spot to be with, especially for San Sebastian, who's just playing, who's playing their 6th game already. Still haven't won a thing. But let's go first to the Mapua Cardinals. Again, talking about inconsistencies. They dropped their previous game against the Generals. Turnovers playing a huge factor, CC.
Yeah, if you look at the turnovers alone, it's mostly actually the points off of turnovers for EAC. They were able to capitalize on the 19 turnovers that Mapua committed. And we can give credit to their assists. I think with 21 assists, they were definitely moving the ball. But in order to gain success and be more consistent moving forward, they need to lessen those turnovers.
You could consider that, yeah, those assists, it's quite a huge number, but most of the time EAC just know how to play those passing lanes, perhaps causing that huge turnover. But talking about when you have your guys being inconsistent, it's your time to shine. If you're TJ Abdullah, you'll get those numbers in a matter of 18 minutes. Huge thing.
Yeah, super solid, especially because his average is only around 4 points, so he was able to almost triple that. It's always good to see guys off of the bench or, you know, not necessarily the superstars stepping up and finding light in the game.
And with that 13 points in their previous game, his averages move up to 6.5 per game, especially with Clinton Scame scoreless in that game. In the meantime, for San Sebastian, boy, the losses are piling up. But the good thing, though, perhaps the top 4 teams you've already encountered, especially in their previous game against CSB.
Yeah, I think they could not necessarily rest a little, but have more games where they could learn and execute what they need to do. Of course, facing the top teams isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do, but there's growing pains, new coaches, new foundation to build upon.
Yep, like what Randolph Leongson mentioned back then, 4th year, 4th head coach. So if you're Jero Vercavilla, who's already spent several seasons here, that 14 points should come naturally, diba? Especially if you're entering your 2nd or 3rd year.
Yeah, San Sebastian definitely needs somebody to step up as a leader, someone to be consistent for them and lead the younger guys. I think Cabilia was definitely a good option for that, and hopefully we can see consistency from him today.
Especially if you have Polo Gaba, who did not score in their previous game. Nepasena just scored 2 points. Then perfect complement for TJ Felebrico when it comes to the scoring department for San Sebastian, especially for a guy who's averaging 7.2 points per game. MC Cuenco actually made his debut for Mapua. That's going to be our pusupi.com key matchup for today. Let's not wait any longer. It's time to meet the starters for this matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PlayTime Filoil Center here in San Juan for the PlayTime Cares 18th Filoil EcoOil Preseason Cup, presented by ABC Tile Adhesive. Sigurado ka dito. This is game number 34 in our NCAA group between the Mapua University Cardinals versus the San Sebastian College Golden Stags. Let us now meet the starters for both teams. First, for your Mapua Cardinals, point guard number 26, Ivan Lazarte. Shooting guard number 0, Clint Escamis. Small forward number 34, Yam Concepcion. Power forward number 5, JC Recto. And at center number 40, Joe Gulapa. Coaching the Mapua Cardinals is J.R. Carlos. And now let us meet the starters for the San Sebastian Golden Stags. Point guard number 15, Tom Bilyado. Shooting guard number 23, Jero Cabilia. At small forward number 18, TJ Felebrico. Power forward number 32, Jaime Gomez de Liano. And at center number 19, Neil Castor. Head coach for the Golden Stags is Rob Labagala.
Starters on your screens, Ivan Lazarte saying hello once again to the Cardinals. He did not suit up in their game against CAC. He is back for Mapua, for the Golden Stags. Naturally, if you perform in the previous game very well, they're going to start. That's the case for Jero Vercavilla.
Yeah, you earn your minutes that way.
Especially if you are in the period of you're trying to evaluate what works for your team, what doesn't work, diba? It could be a start or it could be a sign of great things to come, especially for Jero Vercavilla. The ball is up and this game is underway. It's a battle of the golden red, actually. But it's Mapua wearing their gold version of the jersey. San Sebastian in red. Joe Gulapa scoring underneath to start things off for the Cardinals. Quick response. Jaime GDL missing a 3. Recto's layup was all air. San Sebastian wanted to run, but there's transition defense.
They have the right idea to push the ball, but the execution is what's key here.
But there's that amount of energy to start things off. It's natural to see in a collegiate basketball game where that three-pointer goes in for Jero Vercavilla, picking up where he left things off. That's a good sign right there. You had 14 in your previous game.
You hit your first shot. Yeah, that's a great start. Especially against a team like Mapua, we need players to get their confidence early.
And one more thing about San Sebastian, of course, you cannot help it but evaluate or assess your opponent. You see them 2-2. You know they are the defending NCAA champions, but they are currently 2-2. As Escami still could not get his first point after 2 games. Diba? You assess your opponent, and it seems, especially if you haven't get your first win, that you have that thinking that this might be the time because we're against a relatively struggling team and we might get one against Mapua of all teams.
Yeah, you're always hopeful. I mean, there's really nothing to lose, especially for a team that's rebuilding. You just have to take the wins and then learn from the losses.
High-low play did not materialize for Recto and Gulapa. Castor looking for somebody inside that shaded lane, but they were denied the access. Felibrico looked at the shot clock. It says 7. Returning it to Tom Piliado against Clint Escamis. Piliado against the shot clock. And play goes on.
I think there was definitely a lack of weak side movement over there. They're almost just watching the ball, and I think that makes it a lot easier for Mapua to guard them.
Yun pa naman yung kailangan mong iwasan as Lazarte missed that 3. Where you just have to stop ball watching, di ba?
Yeah, definitely a bad habit, but I think if you're emphasizing that during practices, you're able to apply it to the game.
Exchange of misses. First 3 minutes of this ball game, it's a 4-point lead for San Sebastian. It's also the period where you want to pay special attention to players like Ivan Lazarte, who is making a really good case of him being included finally in that so-called Team A.
Definitely a boost to his confidence. Only up from here. Consistency is definitely the name of the game.
Free throws brought to us by ABC Tile Adhesives. Sigurado ka dito. And especially with, you know, you don't expect that you will lead your team in scoring. Diba? But you check that stat sheet, you'll be surprised. Uy, leading pala ako sa scorers. So, again, that confidence, malaking bagay. And it will only improve your game, diba? And how you look at it each and every time you enter the court.
Especially if you have teammates like Escamis or Gonzalez, you don't necessarily have to shoulder the scoring weight, but if you're able to contribute in like little ways, like for example, he rebounds pretty well. He's able to get his shots off, not necessarily just holding the ball. That's what's going to make you effective, and you want players like that on your team.
2-point advantage for the Golden Stags. Castor wanting that handoff, but Felibrico actually going away from the basketball. 6 on the shot clock. Jaime GDL closely guarded. Tom Piliado has to do something. Extra pass. Nothing materialized for San Sebastian. And in this period, you're playing your 6th game. You're still looking for your first victory. I think this is not the perfect time to be gun shy.
Yeah. Just shoot it, hope for the best. I mean, they really just need to get the defense moving. Mapua is almost, it feels like they're almost sitting in a zone, which I don't even think they are. But because San Sebastian is not moving, it almost looks like that.
And also, one thing to consider is just one basketball, diba? More often than not, you will not be holding that basketball, so it might be a really good idea to get yourself moving.
Yeah. Like you see in Mapua's offense, there's a lot of off-ball screens, on-ball screens. When people are driving into the lane, other people are relocating. That's why more often than not, they have a good shot. They have a good open shot.
By the way, we just saw earlier one of the great Nituras in Philippine amateur sports today. Cyrus Nitura is in the ball game for the Cardinals. Although in their previous game, Cyrus Nitura was 0 for 7 from the field against EAC. Castor's three-pointer was blocked by Joe Gulapa. And here's Cyrus Nitura sending it to the corner. Lazarte for 3.
Ivan Lazarte, 3!
Suddenly, Mapua just reclaimed the lead. Naipit sa 6 na puntos ang San Sebastian, and something wrong happened on that screen play. You know, to your point, that's why you execute these off-ball movements. So when you need to run them, those offensive fouls will be avoided. Upo si Jaime GTL, upo rin si Tom Piliado. Clint Escamis, bounce pass, Jan Concepcion inside.
Clint is not only beating his defender, but I think they're actually sending two guys off of the screen, and because he's able to beat it, he almost has like a 3-on-1 advantage.
Yeah. And this was your observation earlier when we were talking off air. Diba? Clint Escamis is not really looking to score. Diba?
I think he's definitely working on other parts of his game, especially in your last year. You want to be a more well-rounded player. I think he has nothing left to prove, especially in terms of scoring. So it's exciting to see players build their bag, essentially.
Remember, Clint Escamis had the option to turn pro and take his talents overseas. But he opted to play his final season in Mapua as Clint Escamis finally getting his first 2 points after 2 games.
That definitely feels good. After 2 games scoreless. Something he's definitely not used to, I'm sure.
And for sure, May Reyes has a story for us later about Clint Escamis. Nakakwentuhan niya rin yan kanina. And for sure, she will share to us what she got in the meantime. Gabner Pasiana, keyhole jumper won't work. And they're off to the races. Extra pass, Lazarte, same spot, different result though. Lead pass, taken away. Cyrus Nitura, got it.
What a finish.
Cyrus Nitura.
And this is what you like about Mapua, that quick transition, right, from defense to offense.
They're able to capitalize on the turnovers right away. And those are the easiest points. Because some people are still sitting in their turnover. They don't want to play defense as much, so you catch them when they're asleep.
Especially you do those one-on-one moves, especially your individual trainings, those bank shots, those mid-range.
Oh, way to split the screen.
That 3 is good.
Points for Ivan Lazarte.
Gotta see that one again later.
Clint is doing so well reading the defense that they're giving him off of the screen, because sometimes it's the big hedging, which means the big moves up and gets the guard, right? And the other times when he's seeing that when they're going too early, he's splitting it right down the middle.
I think we're going to have a look at that one. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's too big of a gap between the two.
That led to that Jiangnan hotpot 3-pointer of the quarter by Ivan Lazarte. Hotpot ba? Jiangnan na. And I cannot help it but relate it to your game because you're the one of the recipients of those plays where they will kick that ball out to you.
Yeah.
And you're open in the corner.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. That used to be like my only role as a freshman, just move without the ball, catch and shoot. But I think it definitely relies on the connection you have with your players for them to almost just know where you're going to be.
That's going to be a testament to the chemistry that you have with your teammates. And Mapua just showed that with that sequence. In the meantime, San Sebastian productive from their free throw trip. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's a 4-point advantage for the Cardinals. Yep. Iglianes in the ball game for Coach Keith Martin. Rosoas, Drex de los Reyes just battling for that rebound. 3-pointers, no good. Paeng Are actually is in the ball game, CC. Libre na sa taas ni Nepasena, hindi lang nabigay ni Polo Gabat yung bola. Nepasena decides to shoot a 3. He was feeling it.
I think that was over 2 guys too.
Doon pa lang sa top of the key, hinihingi na niya.
He wanted it.
Yep. Sometimes a player has that solid feeling, di ba?
Yeah, just give it to me.
Doesn't matter how awkward would it look, especially with this one. Yep. Tira ko talaga to.
Enough space? Why not? And they're not necessarily the best 3-point shooting team, but in terms of with Mapua, they're pretty matched.
Sa ABC sigurado ka. dito.
Hindi aabot ang data. Nice!
Don't worry! The Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus Only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Plastic, El General All-Purpose Epoxy. Palabaran sa kahit anong dikitan.
Final minute of the first quarter. And with Drex de los Reyes attacking on that baseline, something Mapua would like to see, especially with their big guy, especially with San Sebastian, shooting 50% from three-point area.
So that's what San Sebastian was lacking earlier. I think they need a guy to get in the paint because although their shooting is super well, it's definitely far from their average. So it's not something they should be relying on. I think getting paint touches and forcing the big like De Los Reyes to commit to you so you could get easy baskets. Similar to what Mapua is doing.
And if you check the box score so far, inside points 10-0 for Mapua. And if you're San Sebastian, well, indeed, you're shooting well from the three-point area. But if you consider the law of averages, that will win that down. So you might want to consider other parts of the floor. In the meantime, what a move coming from Cyril Gonzalez. There's the big guy. It's like having the Hulk in your team, diba? You don't have to worry about an army. They have the Hulk inside. Last shot time for San Sebastian. Paeng-Are under duress. That one will sail out of bounds. Just little time remaining, and I believe that will do it for the first quarter. Mapua perhaps address those inconsistency issues that they're having in this season. But on the other hand, San Sebastian still banking in their hard shooting just to keep close. Clint Escamis finally scoring his first 2 points after 2 games. But doing other things for his team. On the other hand, there's the hard shooting we've been talking about. TJ Felibrico got one. Gabne Pacena got one. Ivan Lazarte, on the other hand, got a couple of three-pointers under his belt. Drex de los Reyes doing Drex de los Reyes things. At the end of the first quarter, it's the Cardinals ahead by 4.
Back inside the PlayTime Filoil Center. Back inside the PlayTime Filoil Center. When you talk about game days and off days, that's really nothing new in the field of basketball. And for Clint Escamis of the Mapua Cardinals, he shared with me his reflections grounded on different aspects. And last game, the team captain said, kapag off day talaga. Hence, he needs to contribute in other departments instead. Talking about mental toughness and reinforcing positivity within the team. And so with the Golden Stags still looking for their first win, let's see which team will bounce back with a victory today. But for now, over to you, Jay and CC.
Well, May, for sure, CC will do so well. Come the playing years, diba? Especially when it's your senior year, it's your final year, the wisdom will grow over time.
It's insane thinking how I was as a freshman compared to how I was as a senior. You've gone through so many teammates, so many different wins and losses, actually, something not necessarily all NU teams have gone through. But I like what he said about reinforcing positivity. I think that was a big part of our success as a team and my success as a senior. I think that you can't always have a good game.
Yeah.
But if you're able to contribute, if your teammates are still able to rely on you, I think that's a great addition to the team.
Just imagine talking to Clint Escamis. What happened last game? He just agreed up there.
Exactly. I think the viewers forget that as athletes, we're also players too.
Oh, human.
You guys have bad days. Of course, we're also gonna have bad days. It's just not your bad days aren't broadcasted for everyone to see and nitpick, right? So I always give a lot of credit to the players who are able to, bounce back and just stay resilient throughout their time on the court.
And considering though, especially for Mapua, they're still in the top 4. So if the playoff starts tomorrow, they'd be in it. They'd be battling the #1 team. And the UAP backcourt as just Australia scores once again. If you're Mapua, you still have that small margin of error.
Super small.
Oh, super small.
And you don't want it to get any smaller.
Yep. Kasi comparing it to San Sebastian, boy, talking about room for error, I think it's 0 at this point.
They almost have to play a perfect game to be within winning contention.
San Sebastian is 0 for 5 as DJ Felibrico goes back in the ballgame. 0 for 5. And 2 teams actually is pretty much impossible it's pretty impossible to catch up Letran and CSP. By the way, Haynes 5 on the floor. For Mapua, Igliane, Calyangan, Gonzalez, Nitura, and De Los Reyes. Calyangan, new guy on the floor for Coach Marlon Martin, who's leading this team. And that's a very difficult shot coming from Cyril Gonzalez.
It almost felt like he was behind the backboard a little bit.
I'm pretty positive he does that all the time back in the gym in Mapua, diba?
It seemed pretty natural from from what we saw.
Minimum 100 times.
Shot clock reset to 14 seconds.
7-point advantage for the Cardinals. Paulo Cabat still scoreless. Christian Richo already making a contribution of the free throw area. But here's Thomas Piliado. Oh, nice move.
Tom Piliado.
Good patience after beating the initial man. When you're smaller, you definitely have to be more creative. That's why I like watching the guards who are super quick and super. They just have to find a better way to score. You're not as tall. You don't have the advantage.
That's true. But Rex De Los Reyes wanting to show might inside. The ball did not cooperate though. Check out this play. Great pass coming from Gonzalez. Good intentions, but the ball deciding to go out. Either way, Drex De Los Reyes with the opportunity to score 2 points from the line.
Yeah, if I'm Mapua, feed him the ball every possession. I mean, he's already passed his average, and I think against San Sebastian, he definitely has a height advantage.
6 points and 3 rebounds already. No, 6.6 rebounds averages. Second quarter pa lang tayo.
Yeah.
Boundary. By the way, Haynes 5 on the floor for San Sebastian. I got Polo, Christian, Tom, TJ, and Gab. All able producers actually for Coach Rob Labagala. But for San Sebastian, your just initial wish is just everyone to click at the same time, at the same game.
Yeah, it's preseason, so it's early, of course, but I think it's nice to see the glimpses of it, like a perfectly executed play or good rotation on defense.
Not that time, though. Pretty precarious spot for Tom Piliado to encounter that double team.
Yeah, not the best shot down and late in the shot clock.
Ganun, offense, tinuturo din yan sa inyo, pinapractice din yan na iiwasan nyo as much as possible yung mga trap areas na yun na it will become perhaps a triple team including the sideline.
I'm trying to remember if Coach Aris coined this term, but like coffin corners. So right, like near the half line, baseline, because you're essentially playing against an extra defender. So those are like the trapping areas that you try to avoid.
Ooh. Sorry, miss on that tip in for Gabne Pasena. And here comes Mapua.
I think that needed to be an earlier read. It was almost 4-on-2.
Yep.
They just need to advance the ball like that.
Just like how you do it in practice.
I mean, a pass moves a lot faster than the dribble. So if you can get that ball up the court, it'll make it a lot easier, especially if the transition defense isn't on point.
Igliane missing the 3. And those misses actually will help a lot for San Sebastian, especially if they want to employ this run-and-gun style of offense. But good recognition for the Cardinals. They were quick on D. Felebrico challenging Drex de los Reyes. Might not be the best shot.
Yeah, he definitely could have attacked more in the paint. I think Drex came out early. If he was able to go baseline still.
Napalabas na si Drex eh. And he got that ball inside. The big guy scores. And looks like Mapua has this mission to let Drex de los Reyes score 20 points per game. Or 20 points at least in this game. And in the preseason game, it's like you're going to send a message to the entire field that you have to stop that number 88 guy.
Yeah, you want to make sure come preseason, like people are having their thoughts about who's about who they have to watch out for in the regular season. It's your time to like make a mark and almost introduce yourself.
TJ Felebrico just produced got a bit of oval for our collective breaths.
Yeah.
With that layup.
It was not the best angle.
Oh.
San Sebastian is doing a good job now boxing out.
That is true. And they're getting these opportunities just like that with Tom Piliado going to the free throw line. Check out the sequence. PlayTime Cares Play of the Quarter, brought to us by PlayTime Cares, elevating the next generation of Filipino athletes. Talk about suspense. That layup. It's a platoon substitution, or almost platoon substitution for San Sebastian and Mapua, as Tom Piliado is at the free throw line. Numbers starting to become an uptrend for Tom Piliado, actually. When it comes to his scoring, averaging 8.5 points. But as the season progresses, lumalaki rin yung output niya. At the minutes is starting to grow. If you're a player, you have this preseason and you see your minutes rise, for me, that's a positive thing, di ba?
Yeah, it means you're doing something to be able to sustain your minutes on the court, and preseason is definitely the place to experiment, especially if you've been given a new role, right? If you've been given a little more responsibility.
Imagine, started off with playing 17 minutes, then suddenly progressed to 28 minutes. You're really being set up by your coach towards success. In the meantime, Nepasena missed the 3. Mapua just taking care of a 4-point lead. Muntik maipit si Sapasap. There's Cyril Gonzalez in and out of the floater rebound battle, won by who? It's Piliado who got clipped by Gonzalez.
Packing foul number 14, Cyril Gonzalez. First personal foul, 4 on the Cardinals. Substitutions.
To be down by 4, I think they're in a good space right now. They're limiting Mapua's transition offense. They're not letting them get that many outside shots after Luzarte's back-to-back. Now they just need to convert.
It's a matter of translating those stops, those hustle plays into 2 points or 3 points.
Looks good.
The Tapos lang yung tira ni Jaime GDL. How about another try this time from a teammate? That won't work for Jero Vercopilla. Post action. Gulapa looking at the weak side. There's a double team. Gulapa had some issues and it cost them the turnover. And there's a foul. Again on Mapua. They have to stop fouling because they're in the penalty.
Yeah, they're getting a little antsy once they turn the ball over. They're almost always fouling right after the fact. We just got to regroup. That's it. They're already up by 4.
And you're right. There's that tendency that if you're not able to execute, diba? Nagkakagulo-gulo kayo lahat eh. As we see this free throws brought to us by ABC Tile Adhesive, sigurado ka dito. And if there's anybody who will support this Mapua team all the way, it was that guy on your screens, Coach Chito Victolero. Solid Mapua lifer. That's what you do. You're living such a life, diba? Basketball, you go to your farm, diba? And basketball.
I mean, what a life.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Pro basketball, go to your farm. Want more basketball? Just go to your alma mater. 2-point lead for Mapua. Clint Escamis.
Way too easy. What's nice about Clint is as soon as he sees a path, he attacks it right away, and he's able to react to the defense. If there's, let's say, there's help defense or a second line, he's not rushed.
He also has that ability, perhaps, that everything that he sees moves pretty slow. So he can make that necessary recalibration in his movements. In the meantime, that's a missed shot coming from Gabne Pasena. 31-27 Mapua. Escamis. What ball movement leading to that 3. Hindi lang pumasok para kay MC Cuenco. Baseline drive. Extra pass intended to Cuenco. Taken away. 2 guys open. Lumanag.
Trey Lumanag.
With 2 points.
And naturally, Mapua doesn't appreciate what they're seeing. Last break of the game brought to us by ABC Tile Adhesive. Sigurado ka dito. Timeout, Mapua Cardinals.
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun ah! Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Happy anniversary at TNT! Pangmalawakang coverage with free data, calls, and texts at sulit na rewards.
TNT 25 years, tuloy ang sulit saya sa buong bansa.
Star supporters joining us inside the Playtime Filoil Center. If you have nothing to do on a Monday, please do join us. Still have one more game to play later on. And it's going to be the matchup of the Altas versus the Generals. For EAC, if you have seen them for the past 2 or 3 seasons, you are witnessing their uptrend and true to the declaration of their head coach, Gerson Gabieltes. A matter of 2 to 3 years, they'll be in the Final Four. And with the looks of it, considering that this is a preseason for the Season 101, it's how a collegiate program is supposed to be run, right?
It's good to see that they're taking it slow, but you see progress per year.
And if anything, as Clint Escamis tried to sit on the air with that layup, resulting to a missed 3 coming from Earl Sapasap. Just hold that thought, because San Sebastian actually in that situation where EAC is right now. Imagine, this is their fourth head coach in 4 years. But they already have a program lined up for them, and Coach Rob Labagala is tasked to start that program.
Yeah, it's not easy being the fourth coach in 4 years, but it's almost like you're starting from zero, so you don't really have that much to prove. Essentially, you want to just move on your own timeline and get the players the confidence they need to make the program better.
So if you're looking at that EAC program, there's something you expect that maybe 2 years' time, 3 years' time.
Yeah. It's the long game, I think.
Yep.
A lot of teams are always looking for a quick fix, but in college basketball, that's nearly impossible.
But talking about this game, San Sebastian is going toe-to-toe with the defending NCAA champions. Almost forcing a turnover, but there's a counter steal by Mapua. Escamis thought about a three. Dances with Are. Pass intended for Joe Gulapa. Tapped away by a Golden Stag.
Substitution for the Golden Stags.
Kailangan bawasan ng Mapua yung mga delikadong pasa na yon.
Yeah, they have the right intention trying to hit the big, but I think 1 second longer just so they could commit fully, that'll make the pass easier. Ooh, elevator screen to the side.
It's just nice to marvel those perfect executions, right?
Oh yeah, I love a good elevator screen. Because it's like you have so many options. If you're not able to get through for the shooter, someone's diving. Someone else can come up for a screen. There's so many options if you're able to read it right.
And a much better option, somebody will get open inside.
Yeah.
Shot clock down to 9 for San Sebastian. They have a couple of timeouts to spare. They will use one to execute a perfect play to cut the score-point lead of Mapua.
Palabahan sa kahit anong dikitan.
Itong part na to.
Okay po.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Swerte sa akin ng Playtime. You're welcome!
Di abot ang data! GG, bro! Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi bitin with 10 gig data to power your games plus only Facebook or only TikTok. Load now!
9 seconds on the shot clock.
This off the timeout plays, this set plays. Expect a celebration for San Sebastian. If they execute this perfectly, they had it almost.
Almost.
Nabitawan lang ni Nepasena yung pasa. There's Felebrico trying to save it, but to no avail. 14 seconds remaining. The shot clock will be turned off because it's the last offensive play of the half. San Sebastian has a lot of fouls to give. JC Recto says it doesn't matter. Are, final heave. That one is short. At the end of the first half, if you're San Sebastian, you're like what you're seeing because you're going toe-to-toe with the defending NCAA Season 100 champions.
Wow, you're within 6. You're shooting well. You're able to capitalize on the turnovers of Mapua. I think they just need to bring that into the second half, but I think put an emphasis on getting those easy baskets. I think that's what they're missing. You know, they have a lot of give-me's, but they're not converting on that.
Talking about those gimmies, Escam is just coasting towards the basket, giving Mapua a 6-point lead at the end of the first half.
Yes! Don't worry. Be unleashed with Smart's Power All 99. Hindi bitin ang benta with only TikTok or Facebook plus 10 gig data and more. Load now!
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Itong part na to.
Okay po.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome!
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
My future.
Right? What's the plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Happy anniversary at TNT! Pangmalawakang coverage. With free data, calls, and texts. At sulit na rewards.
TNT 25 years, tuloy ang sulit saya sa buong bansa.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Di abot ang data! GG, bro! Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi bitin with 10 gig data to power your games plus only Facebook or only TikTok. Load now!
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these smart Wi-Fi promos today.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa
Playtime! Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome!
Boxing El General, matibay na dikitan. Konkreto, kahoy, bakal. Plastic El General All-Purpose Epoxy, palabahan sa kahit anong dikitan.
Hindi umuulan.
Di mo tayo makakabenta! Yes! Don't worry! Be unleashed with Smart's Power All 99. Hindi bitin ang benta with only TikTok or Facebook plus 10 gig data and more. Load now!
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Itong part na to.
Okay po.
swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome!
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
My future.
Right? What's the plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Back on us inside the Playtime Filoil Center. Halftime tayo ng Mapua San Sebastian matchup. Jay De La Cruz together with May Reyes at courtside. Camille Clarin have the stats brought to us by ABC Tile Adhesives. What do you have, CC?
We can definitely see that San Sebastian is shooting far from their average of 30% from the three, and the field goal percentage definitely needs to go up a little bit. I think at 31% compared to Mapua's 46, they're definitely struggling efficiency-wise. Mapua is also capitalizing on their height advantage in the paint with 22 points to 8 points of the San Sebastian. So I think it's pretty clear that San Sebastian is still in the game, but they don't necessarily. I think it's just defense right now. They need to limit the field goals of Mapua.
Just keeping them afloat is the three-point shooting. So far, they have already 4 makes in 13 attempts. Leading scorers brought to us by PlayTime Cares. Usual guys for San Sebastian leading in scoring. TJ Falabrico with 8, Piliado with 6. But for Mapua, we had this statement that looks like their mission is to let Drex de los Reyes score 22 points in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely guard heavy before their scoring output. So to see a big step up, especially if they're not necessarily known for their points in the paint. So it's a good addition to see to their game. But it's interesting to see that nobody's in double figures yet coming halftime.
Spread scoring for these two teams. Lazarte with 8, his first game back after missing their previous game. Lites Camis finally on the scoring department with 4 under his belt. So we're going to see if Escamis Lazarte will try to produce more in the second half. Drex de los Reyes, again, the expectation he will score 22 points in this ball game. We're going to have this one look on our PusoP.com key matchup. TJ Falabrico being TJ Falabrico for San Sebastian, 8 points, 4 rebounds, couple of assists. For MC Cuenco, you've noticed this, that it's a different Mapua game today because they're not guard oriented for this game.
Yeah, and they're putting an emphasis on the paint, which is okay. So a lot of players who are necessarily who usually get the ball, who usually have the responsibility to score, it's not on them right now. So I think they need to work on, just contributing in the boards and the assist, all the things that may not necessarily be on the stat line.
35-29, Mapua is ahead by 6 at halftime. Third quarter when we return.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
My future.
Right? What's the plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Konkreto, kahoy, bakal! Pasipoksi. Palabahan sa kahit anong dikitan.
Third quarter is upon us in this Mapua San Sebastian matchup in the NCAA group as we continue the PlayTime Cares Filoil EcoOil 18th Preseason Cup presented to us by ABC Tile Adhesive. Jay De La Cruz, Camille Clarin, May Reyes bringing you the action in our second game of our Monday triple header. Earlier, Letran won over JRU. This time, it's Mapua prevailing over San Sebastian. And so far, at halftime, the team is San Sebastian just hanging around with Mapua, but not a good way to start your offensive sequence with both stops. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that
Good
pass.
extra pass. I think good things happen for San Sebastian when they move the ball, so they just got to keep doing that come second half.
Libre na nga yung una si Castor pero masyadong mabait.
Yeah.
Ikaw muna pare.
So unselfish.
Oo. Kalyangan. The kick out. It went to Nitura who knocked down the three-pointer.
They've been quiet from the perimeter, so this is a good sign for them.
So I believe in a couple of games, or actually the couple of wins from Mapua, it has something to do with a total transformation in their offense come the second half, including their perimeter shooting that might become a factor come the second half. 5 on the floor for Mapua. Got Escami, Sigliane, Kalyangan, Concepcion, and Nitura playing small in the second half with Igliane being the biggest guy on the floor for the Cardinals. What seemed to be a lizard shot.
Butike.
Oo. Tinamaan ng butike dun sa gilid ng board.
Didn't look like the best shot, but it was definitely the shot that they wanted. It was an open hit from the corner.
Yun lang kailangan iwasan ko yung San Sebastian.
Yeah, you cannot give Mapua a chance to make this league more than double digits. I think that's where they're going to have a hard time. So keeping them within single digits, taking care of the ball, it's all they need to emphasize right now.
Post-action. Igliana versus Nepasena to Ikatigyan Concepcion who was denied access. Escamis, extra pass. Nitura could not make the three-pointer back-to-back. Instead, it became a wedgie. That should be 4 points.
Right, that's harder than a make.
Yeah. That's the point. For San Sebastian, there's a Haynes 5 on the floor. Cabilla still trying to get his group after having a really good game in their previous outing. He's joined by Nepasena, Piliado, Celebrico, and actually Neil Castor to complete the 5.
No easy shots there for San Sebastian. You got 2 guys on you.
He had nowhere to go. Scami, sorry, miss.
See, that's a tough shot. I honestly hate any shot that's like directly in front of the rim. I think give me any other angle.
Kailangan yung mga tira mo yung mga ginagamitan ng protractor, no? Just to measure the angle.
Get the angle straight on. That's a tough one.
That's his second personal foul. Second team foul for the Cardinals.
Nepasena will have a trip to the free throw line. A relatively better outing for Gab Nepasena as he knocked down that first of 2 free throws brought to us by ABC Tile Adhesives. Sigurado ka dito. 6 points for Gab Nepasena, 5 rebounds for the big guy. Make that 7. Again, previous outing, just 2 points in 1 of 5 shooting for Gab Nepasena. That will definitely put a smile on the face of the big man coach of San Sebastian, which is Gilbert Lau.
Yeah, he may not be as tall as someone like De Los Reyes, but if the hard work is there, you're willing to get the ball. You're willing to go against. Oh, good fake. Right? Just be creative that, right? You're not going to go body to body with some of these guys because they're just too tall. So you have to find a way to be creative.
And those kind of sequences, if you move that ball around, mauulit at mauulit yun eh. Imagine, Felebrico was able to send 2 guys up.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to move the ball enough to the point where the defense makes a mistake, and you just have to capitalize on it.
For sure, coach has said to you about this na. It's just about forcing your opponents to make mistakes. May magkakamali din eh.
Right? There's 24 seconds in a shot clock. There's no way someone can play perfect defense.
And look at that. San Sebastian is within 3 with 6 and 19 remaining. Kung ikaw naman yung Mapua, tandaan nyo, 2 and 2 kayo. Mahirap magpabaya.
Yeah, you need to get to 3 and 2, especially to almost push yourself away from the middle of the pack.
And considering Letran is at 6 and 1, they're there for sure. CSB is just hanging around at 5 and 1. Masyadong malayo na nung narating nung mga nasa top 2. Nasaraduhan ng dadaanan si Felebrico. There's Tom Pillado. There's a double team. There's a
double
tap.
team.
Kalyangan is go! Rejected by the rim.
I totally thought he could have used his right hand, but maybe that was a stylistic choice. It's sorry baskets like those, you were right in it.
And you will go back to those small details, especially when you take off for the layup, diba? Jumping on the wrong foot.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have your defender on the inside. Ideally, you go with the other hand.
Ganito, buta tayo rin yung nangyari. The ball went out of bounds. It will go San Sebastian's way. And they have this golden opportunity to get the lead in the middle of the third quarter. And I see Kalyangan actually will go back to the bench thinking about that blown layup.
Now San Sebastian has to be careful when they're asking for screens because it looks like Mapua is sending 2.
Some sort of blitz eh. Biglang dalawa sasalubong after the screen play. Not that time though. Mystery by Napasena.
I mean, there's a lot more movement now. That's why their offense is looking better and they're within 1 point.
Recto. Post action.
Cutter. There you go.
Nice find.
Yeah, when you see you're drawing 2, you just have to be aware that somebody is open, and good on Lazarte to capitalize on that and catch his defender sleeping.
40-37 Mapua. Shade above 4 minutes remaining. Felebrico is gone as well. To your point, that is the reason why you should not stop moving.
Exactly. Because if you're not moving, your defense is not moving. So you're almost making it low effort for them.
Oh, somebody got open. Joe Gulaba, though, got clobbered underneath. That's going to mean free throws for Mr. Gulapa. In the meantime, check out this PlayTime Cares play of the quarter. Nice find. Recto Lasante connection. Brought to us by PlayTime Cares, elevating the next generation of Filipino athletes.
That's the worst. When they hit you with the back door.
And also, that is a role, that's a responsibility for you as well. If you don't have that basketball, it's your responsibility to read the defense as well. You can read it better kasi wala kang hawak na bola eh.
Yeah.
41 to 39 actually is the count. May kwento sa atin si May Reyes. Go ahead, May.
Well, JNCC, to quote the words of Coach Rob Labagala of San Sebastian, it's very frustrating na makita yung standing, but happy na marami kaming natututunan to improve the program. The Golden Stags are in their rebuilding stage after all, and so it's no question that Coach Rob has his eyes more on the team's composition and chemistry. More so, in light of their preparation for their NCAA campaign, Coach Rob also said that he's happy somehow they're experiencing the tough times right now. And seeing as to how things are close and tough now, who do you think has a higher chance of bouncing back today, JNCC?
Here's the thing. Actually, Mapua having some issues in their transition defense. And to your point, May, that's gonna definitely put a smile on the face of Rob Labagala.
They're not capitalizing on the mistakes of San Sebastian.
Oo, yun lang. Tabla na tayo. They could have had the lead at this point. But just several sorry misses, diba? Especially with Mapua making a lot of sorry misses as well.
Yeah, they could have easily capitalized on those. But it's good to hear that he's taking his team in a positive light. I mean, it's difficult to start from zero, but to have a coach that leads by example maybe and gives the players time to grow and time to learn the system, I think that'll hopefully garner success in the next 1, 2, 3 years maybe.
Kasi culture yan eh.
Yeah.
Yun ang kailangan mong i-instill sa mga players eh.
That's the biggest thing with champion teams. It's the culture.
Look at that, we're tied at 43 with under 3 minutes to play. Good intentions. So for lack of a better term, poor execution though.
Yeah.
There's the coaching staff of Mapua. Randy Alcantara is not around. There's Tony Boy Espinosa. There's Marlon Keith Martin on the deep corner of the bench, watching San Sebastian go toe-to-toe with their team. Recto. One-on-one against Gabne Pasena. The kick out. Thought about a 3. They go to Cyril Gonzalez. Straight. And got the bounce for the 3.
Cyril Gonzalez. It must be good to see that shot go in, especially since he's not been producing as much as he usually has.
That's right.
2 minutes.
Credit the assist to MC Cuenco, leading to this Jiangnan hotpot 3-pointer of the quarter. Binitin pa tayong lahat, papasok din pala. Basta wag kakalimutan, basta hotpot, Jiangnan na. Kung meron man nawawala ngayon sa offense ng San Sebastian, perhaps the missing piece, the sole missing piece, could be Ralph Gabat or Polo Gabat, who's still scoreless in this game, averaging actually 8 points per game. One of the prime guys of San Sebastian, including that guy who just paid his charities. 6 points for Paeng Are. 2-point advantage Mapua.
Basket is good for JC Recto.
JC Recto just went straight ahead to the bucket. Got that layup to go plus a foul. Pag nakakita ka naman talaga ng open lane, sige, diretso ka na.
Go. I mean, you have the advantage, why not?
That's why it's really useful for big guys nowadays to have that ability to put that ball down there.
You're seeing a lot of bigs who can drive, who can create their own shots.
Yes, more often than not, you'll be given that open lane to get those easy twos. In the meantime, Jaime GDL wanting to do the same, but the ball refused to go in the bucket. There's a steal. Risho lost it on his way up. There's Lumanag, spotted by the defense, missing the shot. Risho again.
There you go. It took a couple of tries, but they got it down. You just want to commend them for being very active on the boards.
Yep. Effort paying off for San Sebastian, and they're still within 3. They were able to tie this game, but couldn't get the lead yet.
And you can see the defensive intensity has picked up. Because it's a lot easier to defend once you score.
Actually, coaches will often say that getting those buckets will solve a lot of problem actually for your team. When it comes to a certain game, as Jaime GDL could not tie this ball game with that three.
Way to be active.
He got the steal, yes. He tries again, and he ties the game.
What a big sequence right there. You get the steal. You don't worry about the miss. You keep shooting. Eventually, they're going to fall. Love averages, like you said.
His Kuyas would be so proud if they see that one from Jaime GDL, but JC Recto
with a tough finish.
Yep. Stealing the spotlight for that sequence at least. Last shot time. Mapua cannot foul. Otherwise, a San Sebastian Golden Stag will go to the free throw line. Are fires an air ball. And there's still some time remaining.
Got 1 second. Up to. Just chuck it.
Bumuelo si Ivan Lazarte. And those are the kind of sequences, especially nowadays, where players have this ability to shoot really long range, di ba? Kailangan maiwasan. But boy, Camille Clarin, San Sebastian is hanging around despite these beautiful plays being shown by Mapua. Their effort paying off.
It's good to see. I mean, there's a lot more off-ball movement. I think that's why San Sebastian is getting a lot more easier looks rather than one-on-one going off of a rebound or just trying to beat your defender. They're using team basketball.
2-point lead, Mapua.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka. Pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
Playtime! Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Fourth quarter is about to get underway. Final 10 minutes of this Mapua San Sebastian action where Mapua, or actually where San Sebastian has this huge possibility of stealing this one over Mapua. 2 puntos lang ang nag-iwalay sa 2 kuponda na to.
Yeah, we have 10 minutes to figure out what they're going to do to maybe pull away with the win.
And Ivan Lazarte will try to avoid or try to lessen that possibility of dropping this game against San Sebastian.
I mean, it's in this fourth quarter where we're going to see the maturity of the teams come out. Especially a championship team, you know, they're able to finish in the clutch, but it's always difficult to play against a team whose backs are against the wall. Nothing to lose.
Kasi totoo yun eh. Wala ka nang iniisip, di ba? Because sometimes, the only thing that is preventing a team from winning is that overthinking eh.
The pressure.
Yep.
Two free throws for Cyrus
And for Cyrus for MC Cuenco, still scoreless in this game. A perfect opportunity to get himself in the scoring column. Quite far from his production in his previous game. But still a start. Ayun. Pass for the long free throw. By the way, Ivan Lazar is leading Mapua when it comes to scoring 12 points. Epasena has it. Lumanag at the keyhole area. got sandwiched by Lasarte and JC Recto.
Holding foul number 26, Ivan Lazarte. That's his second. One on Mapua University. Shot clock
For
at 14
Mapua,
seconds.
if anything, they have to realize na it's a part of the test that sige, makita nila na 0 and 5 itong San Sebastian na ito yung nagiging resulta. This is a result or ito yung magiging resulta kung sabihin natin nagpapabaya sila per se, for lack of a better term, di ba?
Yeah, they need to make sure they're not giving up these opportunities, these points. Especially there was a lot of gimmies earlier in the last quarter. But a little extra contact from De Los Reyes.
Extracurricular activities for Drex De Los Reyes. By the way, we saw the Hayes 5 on the floor earlier for Mapua. Got Drex, MC Cuego, JC Recto, Cyril Gonzalez, and Ivan Lazarte. By the way, our score actually is 57-51. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth period.
Okay.
And there's a production coming from Christian Richo. And boy, San Sebastian is just continuing their game, their positive game. They're just keeping it close. And they were able to get the steal and the points.
We haven't really seen a lot of full court pressure, but I mean, it's fourth quarter time, so if you're going to do it, you might as well start right now. Yeah.
Toto mo na. And Mapua has to break this press. At napilitang magbaba si JC Recto. Again, big guy having that capability to bring that ball down. It's a huge plus.
Feed him inside. Let's see if he can go to work.
There's a double team, and San Sebastian, a huge consideration for them to Drex De Los Reyes is a threat. That is what they see in him.
Yeah, I think they had the right intention to double him. I think it could have been a little bit earlier. You see that he's almost always going to spin. So if you're able to catch him right on that bounce right before it, you could possibly force a turnover.
Gonzalez on the screen, launches a three, straight but strong. De Los Reyes put back, too strong. Third try for Mapua. De Los Reyes will go to the free throw line. Iba na ang malapad, iba na ang matangkad.
Gotta put a body on him. Maybe not even just one, you gotta put two. You're not gonna win the battle jumping.
Consider na yung gang rebounding, no?
Yeah.
Kahit makompromise man yung running game mo, di ba? Nakaka-execute naman sa half court eh. Although, CC, fast break points, huge advantage for San Sebastian.
I think the numbers would have been closer if Mapua could just convert and make the layups.
Ang daming sorry miss nun eh.
Yeah.
Isa nabutatan ng ring. Yung isa nabitin dun sa pabanda.
Although he just missed his free throw, both teams are actually shooting very well from the free throw line. I mean, Mapua's at 81%. You see San Sebastian at 75%. So it's more just about the half-court offense right now.
And they're just down by 3. For the tie, no. Rebound secured by Cyril Gonzalez. Cyril got Jaime GDL. There was a mismatch somewhere, but they opted to go to move that ball around the something to an MC Cuenca three.
Great extra pass. See, I mean, Cyril's able to extend the dribble a little bit longer, get into the paint. And good on their teammates for always getting that extra pass in.
Jaime GDL missed that three. Scramble for the loose ball. San Sebastian got a hold of it. Piliado. No good on that three-pointer. Rebound was caught by Yab Concepcion, who is not a part of the 5 for Mapua. That is the 5 on the floor for Golden Snags. Hits 5 on the floor. Piliado, Perebrico, Castor, Capilla. And they got Jaime GDL. Timeout on the floor.
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Palabaran sa kahit anong dikitan.
Sa ABC sigurado ka, pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
.608 remaining in the fourth quarter. This is where you feel that Mapua is about to pull away. Kaya maganda rin yung timeout, yung timing ng timeout ni Coach Mablabagala and this period.
Hopefully they can score in this possession. I think that'll be big for them momentum-wise.
Yep. Fire extinguishing shot. Maybe it will start with a fire extinguishing foul coming from MC Cuenco.
Hacking foul number 10, Silas Cuenco. That's his first personal foul. 13 foul for the Cardinals. DJ Filibrico, 2 free throws.
6-point lead for Mapua. Free throws si Filibrico brought to us by ABC Tile Adhesive. Sigurado ka dito. Buti na lang sinisiguro ni Filibrico yung mga free throws niya.
Yeah, they're at 3 fouls apiece. I think they gotta slow it down a little bit because there's still 6 minutes to go in the fourth. You don't want to get into bonus early.
2 for 2 for Tristan Filibrico. 4-point lead for Mapua. May Reyes, what do you have for us?
Privileged to Cyril Gonzalez to have that responsibility of being a provider for Mapua. And for him, he's just doing his job as a player and as a leader at the same time. Despite Cyril sharing na madaming lapses ang team, he sees chemistry as one of the solutions they need to factor in. Sabi nga ni Cyril, lagi silang kulang and hindi pa sila nabubuo completely given others have injuries and commitments. And so juggling the thoughts of building team chemistry and the weight of our match now, let's see if Cyril and the Mapua Cardinals can end this one with a win. Now back to you, James.
Well, actually, Cyril Gonzalez talking about this entire tournament. Maganda na yung pinapakita ni Cyril Gonzalez, but it's good that he still have that kind of psyche even though he's averaging is one of the top players or top 2 when it comes to scoring for Mapua. At para sa pakiramdam ni Cyril Gonzalez, mas marami pa siyang magagawa. But here comes the Cardinals. They are ahead by 8 at this point. And suddenly, they're pulling away in this ball game.
Substitutions.
Isang iglap lang. Kanina, baba na sa 4 yan. Pero dalawang sunod na possession ng Mapua.
And all of a sudden, you're just down 8.
Yeah.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka, pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Happy anniversary at TNT! Pangmalawakang coverage. With free data, calls, and texts. At sulit na rewards.
TNT 25 years, tuloy ang sulit saya sa buong bansa.
Itong part na to.
Okay po.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Swerte sa akin ng Playtime. You're welcome.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka, pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Poxy, palabaran sa kahit anong dikitan.
San Sebastian College-Recoletos for improper bench decoro.
Warning is tagged on the Golden Stag's bench for
12 seconds on the shot
partying
clock.
too much. But perhaps in distress because they're suddenly trailing by 8. Drex de los Reyes volleyball toss pass went to the opponent. Mapua tried to do something different after that timeout, but it ended up as a turnover. If you're San Sebastian, kalma lang. 4 na minuto pa to.
4 minutes, a lot of time. Essentially 4 possessions to get the tie at least.
Nepasena off the glass, just too high on the angle. Oh, those are the kind of shots that you were looking for.
Yeah, he might have just not been ready for that pass. Because it seemed like it was meant for the shooter, but he was able to read it.
Are just activated its nitros.
Pushing foul on number 0, Clint Camis penalty.
Now they're in penalty.
It's an option for San Sebastian to get some points. So another source of points for them, if anything.
Yep.
There's their primary point guard in Paeng Are, who just missed the free throw. Sinilip mo pa naman kanina yung free throws. Ganda sa magkabilang
koponan. We talked about it.
Oh.
There you go, at least split.
Yep. And either way, it brought them closer. 4 minutes remaining. 7-point advantage for the guys wearing the golden jerseys. Escamis looking at Drex. Lumabas para sa screen. Bigay sa kaliwa. Balik kay Clint. Malakas ang tres. Rebound Drex de los Reyes. One power dribble. Got clipped by TJ Felebrico. And Drex de los Reyes will go to the free throw line to the disbelief of Felebrico.
That's what's difficult when you're playing a zone.
Check this one out. Ay, full extension coming from Drex de los Reyes. Rebound of the corner. Hatid sa atin ng Bostic El General All-Purpose Epoxy. Wala pa tayong pinag-uusapan sa free throw, ha?
Avoiding the conversation.
But in a matter of 13 minutes of play, 7 rebounds, 13 points for Drex de los Reyes. Although we wish that he scored 22 points in this game, but
can't be perfect.
Yep. But if anything, this is his tournament high for Drex de los Reyes. It's back to an 8-point lead. Are, 3 on the way. There was a dead bounce on that miss.
Yeah, I think they can't shy away from moving the ball around. That's what was giving them success earlier in the game. It's easy to want to fall into the trap of getting quick baskets, but if they're not within the play of the game, the flow, it's almost too difficult to convert.
And these things will happen where San Sebastian will miss, and on the other end, Mapua is the one who's going to convert. In the meantime, Yam Concepcion pushed TJ Felebrico out of that scene. That's going to be a foul on Yam, and Felebrico will go to the free throw line.
That's his 4 personal foul substitution. For General Comedian. At the line, shooting 2, TJ Felebrico.
Back at the free throw area, Felebrico, actually 16 points for Felebrico. Points pa lang, pare. Points ang sinasabi ko, hindi free throws. Ngayon pa lang natin pag-uusapan yung free throws. Ngayon ko pa lang titignan. Prior to that miss, you're 4 of 4.
We mentioned it kasi.
Nandun pa lang, may intentions pa lang na sabihin. Ayan tuloy, nung pinag-usapan.
At least you got the rebound.
Oo. Oh, that's an open three.
That's a big
that
one. There you go.
You need to make. That one you need to shoot, and that one you need to make.
Give some energy back to the team. But if you're Mapua, you just gotta chill.
Oh. Easy lang. Sabi ng easy lang.
Maybe not the best decision to foul when he's nowhere close to the ring and you're in penalty.
Pahabol na junk ng three-pointer of the quarter ni Paeng Are. Basta wag kakalimutan. Pat ba? Junk na. We mentioned this back in the first half that if you're San Sebastian, it's just a matter of everyone clicking, doing everything right from the smallest of the detail to the biggest of the concepts when it comes to your game plan.
We can definitely give credit to what the adjustments they've been able to make. They've been able to hold the guards off to less of an output. I mean, the points in the paint you're not necessarily going to be able to control because they are undersized, but they're really putting an effort into rebounding, into getting the best option, especially on a fast break.
All hope is not lost though. They're trailing by 9 with 2.5 remaining. Are went to a fishing expedition, and what he got is the 4th personal foul of Drex de los Reyes and 2 free throws.
Here we go again, back at the line.
Sige, wala kami sasabihin, Paeng. Wala kami sasabihin. O, yun.
There you go.
Of course, if you're San Sebastian, sige, you're slowly creeping in. Again, source of points, free throws. But if you're Mapua, expect them to milk the clock. Might be a good idea as well if you're San Sebastian to force Mapua to speeding the tempo of the game.
Yeah, get them out of their comfort zone, force them to make mistakes.
Because right now, it's Mapua obviously dictating the tempo here.
Yeah, and now...
Ay, bigla
Great
nilang
feed
pinigay kay
inside.
Drex de los Reyes. Wala nga lang. Got his own miss. Drex inside.
If you saw in that last play, they're almost overloading on the one side. Because then the zone has to pick. Who are you going to guard? Are you going to guard Clint? Are you going to guard Cyril? You have to choose. You have to give up one option.
Because obviously Mapua can go for those cross-court passes. Eh.
They know how to swing the ball around.
Oo. And Drex made the first free throw. Again, we were talking about the tempo kasi mga ganitong pagkakataon. Sige, you're up by 3 possessions with time winding down. Really a perfect time to slow everything down, milk the clock.
Yeah, you have 2 minutes, 2 whole minutes. That's a long time in 5-on-5.
And I think San Sebastian will try to map out the succeeding game plan in this final minute and 55. They are down by 9.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa...
Playtime. Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Di abutan dito! GG bro! Don't worry! The Unli with Smart Power All 99. Hindi bitin with 10 gig data to power your games plus Unli Facebook or Unli TikTok. Load now!
Pasipoksi. Palaban sa kahit anong dikitan.
Final minute and 55 remaining. It's a 9-point game. It's a totally different story from the first 3 quarters where San Sebastian was just this close.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you're looking at the stats, they went from 30% from the 3.
Oh! Sabi ni Christian Risho, teka lang.
You can get it in the paint too.
Oo. And it happened so fast in a matter of 12 seconds. San Sebastian able to produce a point. Guaranteed 2 points. A chance for another one. And if this goes in, they're just suddenly be trailing by 2 possessions. They got it.
Minute 43. If you keep executing plays like that, force Mapua to turnovers, this could be a good ball game.
Hanap stop ang San Sebastian. It's Yam Concepcion bringing that ball down against Christian Risho. Escamis sought for... Oh! Escamis inadvertently hit Andre Lomanag in the jaw. That's going to be an offensive foul.
Offensive foul on number 0, Clint Escamis. That's his 3rd personal foul.
That's what you want to do if you're San Sebastian. Get the ball out of one of the best players' hands, force him to a little bit of frustrations, and capitalize on that. This is almost a must score for them right now.
Under 90 seconds. Felebrico, closely guarded by Yam Concepcion. There's the screen. Felebrico versus Escamis, setting it to Risho. Shot lock down to 10. Are almost losing it. Are encountered a double team. Are has 6 to work with. Are lost the ball. Recto, lead pass. Ang baba lang ng pasa papunta kay Yam Concepcion.
They were lucky on that one. I think he needed to move the ball or somebody needed to get open for him.
Oo. And if anything, Mapua anticipated that Paeng Are will get that basketball.
Yeah.
And he has it again in this ensuing possession. Are trying to be creative against Cyrus Nitura. Extra pass intended for Castor. Taken away by Cyril Gonzalez, who is gone.
Cyril Gonzalez.
8-point game. Are got bombed. 2 free throws coming up for Paeng Are. Check out the sequence. Leading to this ABC Tile Adhesive fast break of the game brought to us by ABC Tile Adhesive. Sigurado ka dito.
2 shots for Paeng Are.
And if things stay this way up until the final buzzer, mukhang yung layup ni Cyril Gonzalez yung paniguro sa panalo sa Mapua.
Yep. The last nail in the coffin for San Sebastian.
And Are missed both free throws, but he got his own miss. Are, Frederico with a pickup. No, second try. DJ will go to the line.
Way to be aggressive. You just want to play it out till the buzzer, regardless of the score right now.
Acting foul on number 5, JC Recto. That's his 1st personal foul.
Just the first foul on JC Recto.
2 shots.
And San Sebastian just keeps on getting these opportunities and not capitalizing except for that one. And if anything, you want San Sebastian of those situations, diba?
Yeah, they were shooting so well from the line, but come second half, it has gone down significantly.
There is a foul on the rebound play. That will be tagged against Christian Risho. Penalty na rin ng San Sebastian. So 2 free throws coming up for Mapua.
Chris Risho penalty. That's his 3rd.
And if anything, actually, if you figure of speech, it's not the door that is closing for San Sebastian. Perhaps the window, the kitchen window starting to close for San Sebastian. Except if anything strange happens in this 32.5 seconds.
32, down 7.
And Recto just missed his first free throw. So for San Sebastian, another thing that they should learn here, nakwento nga ni Reyes kanina, it's a learning process. It's a process, repeated process. They have to play 4 quarters, avoid playing catch-up, but they have some time. Camille Clarin.
You're within 25 seconds left. Catching Mapua off guard. Both teams can't rely on their free throws right now, so it's more about who wants it more.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! The Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus Only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun ah. Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming chances manalo.
Sa ABC, sigurado ka, pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
Ang boxer, El General, matibay na dikitan. Konkreto, kahoy, bakal. Postik, El General All-Purpose Epoxy, palabahan sa kahit anong dikitan.
.8 seconds remaining. Mapua will go the full length of the court after that timeout. And there's a foul on Andre Lumanag that will send Yam Concepcion to the free throw line. Talk about free throws, CC. You're pointing out something off there about the free throws.
Yeah, San Sebastian is 19 for 29 from the line, which means they had 10 free baskets, which would have put them ahead by 5. I think that'll definitely be a point to make as your coach. Free throws can make or break the game.
You might want to say that same thing about Mapua.
I know, but Mapua was just lucky they were able to capitalize and get enough of a buffer so that they're not really relying on the free throws.
Oh, they got a split. And Rob Labagala will utilize his final timeout of this game. They are trailing by 2 possessions.
Swerte si Vic. Ikaw kaya, subukan mo sa
Playtime. Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Swerte sa akin ang Playtime. You're welcome.
Hindi umuulan!
Di mo tayo makakabenta!
Yes!
Don't worry! The Only with Smart's Power All 99. Hindi bitin ang benta with only TikTok or Facebook plus 10 gig data and more. Load now!
Sa ABC, sigurado ka, pulido ang trabaho, di ka papalya. ABC, sigurado ka dito.
What will San Sebastian do in the final 21.9 seconds of this basketball game? They are trailing by 6. And perhaps they have fielded their shooters in the sequence. Three guys on the floor for San Sebastian already in double figures. Sino ang kukuha ng bola? Quick basket needs to come up. Oh! Good chase coming from San Sebastian. And what a save from Yam Concepcion. Leading to this attack that Clint Escabes will try to milk some clock. What a sequence by Mapua.
Number 4, playing at a penalty.
San Sebastian thought they had line at the rim, but very quickly did it turn out to be wrong.
2 free throws for Clint.
That's a beautiful play that was drawn up by Robla Bagala.
Someone's vertical just definitely got in the way.
Boy, credit that to Cyrus Nitura. Perhaps cross-training with his sisters.
I was going to say, it seems like they have vertical for days.
Oo. Naka-training sa mga kapatid niyan kay Judiel tsaka kay Shaina. That's gonna be a foul on Cyril Gonzalez. And if anything, those, again, this is what coaches, championship teams are going to say, that those kind of small plays are the difference, diba? It's what separates perhaps the good teams and the great teams, diba?
Yeah. I think being able to value possessions, not necessarily thinking ahead to what's going to happen in the third or fourth quarter, but playing it possession per possession. That's a patience that more mature teams have. They're not necessarily looking to rush, and I think that San Sebastian can take that away from today's game.
7.9 seconds remaining. If anything, we're just waiting for the final score, but San Sebastian still wanting to force Mapua to turn over. At nako, yun na nga.
5-second throw-in violation.
Na-disgrasya na yung throw-in.
See a little bit of frustrations coming in from that inbound play.
San Sebastian are out of timeouts, so they have to play this by themselves up until the final buzzer. Cannot shoot a 3. Naka-close out ang Mapua, and that will do it. Mapua just fending this great San Sebastian fight for 3 quarters. San Sebastian stayed close, but Mapua, we always say this time and again, championship character prevailed.
Yeah, you could see it. It was very evident in the fourth quarter. They didn't get rattled. They were able to sustain their lead, and that's what got them the win today.
Mapua will go up in their record 3-2 win-loss record for the Cardinals. San Sebastian will go down to 0-6 with this 77-70 final score. It's a victory for the Mapua University Cardinals. Actually, a lot of guys for Mapua that made great plays, especially down the stretch. But this big guy, CC, again, it's a Mapua made a conscious effort to get the ball to this guy.
Yeah, they weren't necessarily shooting that well from the outside, so to establish a paint presence early, I think that proved to be the difference against San Sebastian.
15 points in 5 of 8 shooting, 9 rebounds for Drex de los Reyes. We actually thought Mapua wanted to get him 22 points this game, but for sure they will settle with 15 points in the victory against San Sebastian. Smart Power Up Play is brought to us by Smart Power All 99. Get only Facebook or TikTok plus 10 gigabytes data and only calls and text for 7 days. Load now. Again, for San Sebastian, play 4 quarters, diba? Not just 3 quarters, but play 4 great quarters.
Yeah, they need definitely end game maturity is what's lacking, but they're new, you know, they're still rebuilding. At least you can take away the first 3 good quarters. They were definitely in it. They put up a good fight. I think Mapua was a little bit nervous coming into the 4.
Showed some signs of nerves because again, San Sebastian really just stayed close, even tying this game. Walang tambakang naganap dito sa laro na to.
If it was just up to the free throws, I think they could have even won the game.
Yep. Kasi tingnan mo dito sa ating full game stats brought to us by Bostic El General All-Purpose Epoxy. Equal attempts on the field goals. Rebounding is just Mapua. Again, the advantage of having those big guys and inside points, CC.
Yeah, their average before this game is 34 points in the paint. So to get to 40, I think that definitely proved to be an advantage for them against this San Sebastian team.
Seems natural na makakuha ng ganyang kalaking puntos sa ilalim itong Mapua. One last look on our Pusapi.com key matchup. TJ Felebrico, usual numbers, but starting to increase. Full-rounded game for Felebrico. But for MC Cuenco, actually, kung meron ka naman kakampi, di ba? Na kaya magdala ng bola, may isa kang mama sa ilalim, di ba? It's gonna be an easy day for MC Cuenco. But sometimes, syempre, kailangan niya rin mag-produce ng mga napakalaking numero. Again, Mapua prevailing 77-70. One more game for today. Perpetual Love going up against EAC. CC will stay behind. Benji Santiago will join you later on. But for now, this has been the Playtime Cares Filoil EcoOil 18th Preseason Cup, brought to us by ABC Tile Adhesives.
Playtime. Pinakamataas sa cashback sa 2%. Taas nun, ha? Guaranteed 10 minutes ang cash out. Ang bilis! Over 2,500 games para maraming